Good morning, I'm Dory.
And I'm TJ. Welcome to San Diego Coast Lifestyle,
A monthly look into local businesses,
local culture,
community events.
and all things San Diego.
Here at SDCL, we focus on family, health, and well-being.
San Diego is full of amazing people with amazing ideas. Like you, Dory. You were born here, right?
I sure was, TJ, born and raised.
See, that's amazing to me. I didn't see the ocean until I was 21.
Wow, really? So like last year?
Speaking of being 21 in 2021, there is an upcoming food and wine festival sponsored by the Encinitas Rotary Club.
Ooh, sounds heavenly.
Do you enjoy wine?
I do, but I'm more of a beer gal.
Well, beer gal, you're in luck because there will be beer vendors there as well.
Although, I am looking to expand my horizons.
Well, this festival is a perfect opportunity to do just that.
Just what?
Just that.
Just what?
Just watch.
So you have a new friend in town and you want to tell them what's the most fun thing to do in Encinitas? Well, of course you're going to tell them to come to the Encinitas Rotary Club Wine Festival. You'll get to experience some great wines, foods from around our community that are donated by our vendors, and have a great time at the Encinitas Ranch Golf Course. We usually have lovely weather out there. You'll get to support all of our charities, listen to some great music from our local musicians, and participate in a joyous event that supports our community and our charities. One of the things that we did along the way, we were raising money and giving it out to local charities. So we kind of morphed into an organization that enables charities to raise money for themselves. So we're kind of a catalyst for nonprofits in the community to raise funds for their organization. And so over the course of the time we've been putting this on, we've raised about $1.5 million to go back into the community.
It's an honor to be supporting such an inspiring charity like San Diego Lab Rats. Like Lab Rats, I also believe the impact of an enjoyable education. As kids and even adults, I think we can all agree that we learn more when we're having fun. My name is Kate Edgecombe, and I'm a sommelier, which is French for wine steward. I've been working in the wine industry in San Diego since 2016, and a few years ago, I decided to start my own wine label called Strawberry Wine Company. I'm here to show you just how fun science can really be with the science of wine. Here is the short and dirty of how to taste wine. Now, all you need to know about tasting is the 3 S's: the sight, the smell, and the taste. Let's jump right in. The first thing you want to do is look. Really visualize the color by tilting the glass around. It's helpful to do this on a white background, like a napkin or a piece of paper. The first S, see or sight. You're looking for impurities or color variation. Not always, but a good rule of thumb is the darker the wine, the more full it's going to be. Our sense of smell will be vital when wine tasting because our sense is closely linked with memory. Smell is often emotive, as humans make associations with scents. Take a nice sniff, close your eyes, and take a mental picture of the flavors. Try to pick out 1 or 2 flavors. Fruits are usually the easiest to smell. With white wine, try to decide if you're smelling something citrus or tropical or stone fruit. With red wine, see if you can smell red fruits, black fruits, or blue fruits. Now the anticipation can end and the tasting can begin. Really let the wine almost swirl around in your mouth to better understand the flavors. This is the fun part. Try to confirm or deny what you've just smelled. Did you smell raspberry on the nose, but it tastes more like cranberry? The third S is sip. Finally, it's time to evaluate the balance or intensity. When someone says wine is dry, it isn't negative. It actually means that the wine is not sweet. And when a wine is more acidic, it means it can make your mouth water, commonly found in white wine. And finally, the most important step, do you like it? We hope that knowing the science behind wine can help make your wine tasting experience memorable, and you can take some of your new acquired knowledge to the next level at the Encinitas Wine Festival, September 18th from 4 to 7 p.m. Our hope is to see you there and show your support, one wine at a time.
There's a number of ways you can attend. You can purchase tickets directly through our EncinitasWineFestival.com website, or you can participate through one of the various charities who are involved in the event, or the Encinitas Rotary Club itself. And you can look us up at EncinitasRotary.com.
For more information, go to EncinitasWineFestival.com.
Well, Dory, do your horizons feel expanded?
I gotta say,
Say what?
we're not doing this again.
Doing what? Seriously though, this event has raised a lot of money for local charity.
One of those local charities is San Diego Lab Rats, specializing in after-school enrichment programs.
Their STEAM Discovery Center is an incredible place for kids to engage in fun and interactive education activities.
And it's a great place to drop your kids off after school for a few hours.
True, it's definitely during happy hour.
Kids are happy, parents are happy, everybody's happy.
We are San Diego Lab Rats, and we are scientists teaching science. Our goal is to inspire youth to love learning about science and to motivate them to put in that hard work to achieve their very best in STEM. We believe that an education in STEM is nothing less than the power to change the entire world with a single idea. We help facilitate our students' growth with hands-on, project-based learning, incorporating team-based labs with challenges to overcome together. We have multiple avenues by which your children can participate. We can bring our courses, workshops, or assemblies to your school with our mobile lab. You can jazz up your science nights or science fairs with any of our demo lab stations. Or you can come to the STEAM Discovery Center, opening this fall. The STEAM Discovery Center opens August 27th in Encinitas at the San Diego Heritage Museum. Open Fridays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays are family days from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The STEAM Discovery Center has fun, hands-on curriculum to get your students prepared for their future, and specialized makerspace to allow students to explore many different wonders of science so they can find their own passions. Sign up now on SanDiegoLabRats.org.
For more information, visit sdlabrats.org.
Community event? Check. Local charity? Check. Now, let's talk about local businesses.
Yes, let's. Whether you just started a business or you're looking to innovate and integrate more into the community, the Encinitas Chamber of Commerce has something for you.
This chamber is no secret.
Here in Encinitas, a small not-for-profit organization that helps businesses. And our philosophy is when we help businesses, our community thrives. And when our community thrives, our families thrive. Basically, we, as a nonprofit, we generate revenue from two ways, from membership and then also from events. And both of those are benefits to the member. So what happens is, as a member, there's opportunities to network and promote your own business. There's opportunities to increase your, say, search engine optimization, because we're a reputable organization, and so you join with us, you go higher, when people do their searches on you. And then we have our web page. You have a presence on our web page. Your page is your own on our website. So you can add photos, you can add video, you can do a hot member deal, you can do member-to-member discounts to encourage a philosophy that we're trying to, embrace and really put out there, which is to give back. And so we have so much to offer businesses, and we want you to join. And in return, we hope you give back to the community. So with regard to the events, now you have an opportunity to sponsor them, or to partake in them, or to, say, get a booth if it's an expo or Oktoberfest or something like this. So we have State of the City, which is the mayoral address. We've got Salute to Education, which honors our teachers and students. We have Business Expo, Health Expo, Senior Expo. We have a golf tournament, which is a fundraiser, super fun. So even if you don't want to sponsor it, you have an opportunity to be a golfer and be in it. We have our Oktoberfest. So all of these wonderful opportunities to either sponsor it, put your items in the swag bag, be a participant. We are a group of extremely committed to the community of Encinitas group of people here at the Chamber. And it's so easy to promote the businesses. I find, as a membership coordinator, I develop a tremendous amount of friendships. And it's so easy to recommend your friend. You want to promote your friend. It's so easy to say XYZ restaurant, or if you need this, CPA or whatever. It's easy because we're small enough that we have the opportunity to really get to know our members. And we know them. We know who they are. We know their name. We know their business. We know pretty much how long they've been a member. And it's a delight.
For more information, visit EncinitasChamber.com. This next group has been a staple in the community for over 30 years.
That's right. Back in 1987, when Bon Jovi was living on a prayer, the Coast News was created in a garage.
And while they've always reported the local story, they've adapted to modern times. You can now access local coverage on any device.
Even my iPhone 7?
Even your iPhone 7.
The Coast News is an opportunity to represent the residents in our community and covering topics and issues that are important to them. We live and work here too, so these things matter to us.
I find the Coast News the best source of community news in North County, to be quite frank. Nobody really does what we do.
When we transferred to digital, we were able to offer more breaking news. We were able to check and see issues that were important to residents on social media platforms and share them to a broader demographic of people outside that maybe don't read traditional newspaper.
We know we're connecting all of the dots for our readers, and we're providing content, community news that's very pertinent and relevant and helps their whole understanding of what's happening in their community.
Through digital news, I think we reach a younger demographic. I think we get younger people to care about issues that are happening within their community. We also give younger people a voice and a platform to share their concerns so they can make changes within their communities. Having both digital and print allows us to reach more readers through both of those mediums.
So if you're, say, a younger person on the go and you're on your phone all the time, you should go to our website because we update stories every day. And I think there's rarely a day that goes by we don't put some new breaking story on the website. Our social media also is a great place. Follow us on Twitter. We're constantly tweeting news stories.
Our passion is based on the stories we tell, the amount of time that we spend laying out each week's newspaper and just talking to people on the street. Our passion is also based in the fact that we are a member of the community as well, and we want to continue to serve this community.
The Coast News has embraced digital from the beginning, and slowly but surely we are entering into a new phase where digital is going to be more and more important to not only reaching new audiences and making news more engaging and interesting, but also to provide more value to our advertisers who know that digital is also an important part of their growth.
The Coast News cares. We care about the community. We really do. We're passionate about what we do, and we want to make sure that we do a great job for our readers because they're who we all work for, our readers.
For more information, visit thecoastnews.com.
Hey Dory, would you say you have a green thumb?
Well, I do name all my plants.
Really? What are their names?
Let's see, there's Lennox, Tolkien, and Jacinto.
One big happy horticultural family.
Yes. Do you know who else names all their plants?
Who?
The San Diego Botanic Garden.
Well, the scientific names.
Exactly, so you have been.
Oh, I've been. That bamboo forest though?
Right?
Check it out.
San Diego Botanic Garden has a really fascinating history. Unlike many other botanic gardens, it never started as a large estate. Instead, it was a farm first, and then it was purchased by a couple named Ruth and Charles Larrabee, who moved here from Kansas City in the very early part of the 20th century. And they came here to have a very, very simple life. They had a very small home on what was then about a 10-acre parcel here. And they liked plants, and so they planted the plants that they liked, but they didn't plant what you or I would consider a formal garden. It wasn't designed out by some famous landscape architect or architect. It was really just a very simple, very rural existence. For the time, this place was incredibly rural in the earliest part of the 20th century, and they lived here for quite a while. And so the county of San Diego took over the land in the early 1960s, and they knew that this was an exceptional piece of land, and so they wanted to make a really high-quality park. The county began to fall into some economic troubles in the 1980s, and so the county began talking to a nonprofit organization called the Quail Botanical Gardens Foundation. By the 1980s, the county said, you know, maybe you guys could step in and actually run the garden as a private nonprofit. And it did sort of formally really come to pass in the early 1990s when the garden hired its first professional executive director, a gentleman named Julian Duval. And Julian was a really accomplished plant person and zoo curator, and so he came here with a real understanding of how to build plant collections and run a botanic garden. in 2020, San Diego Botanic Garden has become a major regional botanic garden. We were named one of the top 10 botanic gardens by USA Today last year. We have over 200,000 visitors per year and one of the largest and most celebrated children's gardens on the west coast of the United States, and really one of the most important plant collections as well now in the United States. So our plant collection is our backbone. And our plant collection is very focused on the Mediterranean climate. We have to present the diversity of plants in a way that's exciting and new and fresh. And so we do that primarily through our education programs and through the purposeful designing of each garden space to be accessible to the public. So a great example of that are our children's gardens. We design our children's gardens to be places of play and comfort for children and families so that they can be in nature and be comfortable in nature. We have a wonderful and brand new conservatory here at San Diego Botanic Garden. It's called the Dickinson Family Education Conservatory. So this new space is a place where we can grow the most amazing tropical plants, tropical pitcher plants that eat insects, really important economic plants like chocolate and vanilla. Another one of my favorite places in the garden is our bamboo collection. And I love our bamboo collection because it's just absolutely magical. And it's magical because of the diversity of bamboos that are in there and the wonderful design of the garden itself, where there's a meditative pond that really invites contemplation and serenity and thinking about nature and what it can deliver to humans and to the biosphere. Our bamboo garden is in fact the National Bamboo Collection. It is certified as the National Bamboo Collection. We have over 150 different species of bamboos, and it's the largest publicly accessible bamboo collection in North America. I'd like when people leave the Botanic Garden to be able to take away a sense of tranquility, first and foremost. But second, also a sense of empowerment. The Botanic Garden is a created space. What that tells you is that you can create this kind of a paradise for yourself. And whether it's just in your backyard or on your windowsill with some herbs, you can use the power of plants to make your life better, and you have that control to do it. Plants really create our sense of place, and coming to the Botanic Garden really helps people understand how plants create that sense of place. And I think by studying plants, we really are studying ourselves and understanding our own place in this environment.
If you would like more information, visit sdbgarden.org. Hey TJ, do you have a dog?
I do. Actually, I'm a pretty new dog dad.
Oh yeah? What kind of dog?
Well, he's a giant golden doodle named Winston. What about you?
I actually have a very rare breed, Pitbull Chihuahua mix. Her name's Cinnamon, and she's my best friend.
Aww. Did you know that dogs actually strengthen your immune system?
Really? How so?
Well, they introduce you to healthy bacteria and improve the diversity of your microbiome.
Wow, so there's more to them than just cuteness.
There sure is, Dory. And if you're looking to adopt a dog, a cat, or even a rat, look no further than the Rancho Coastal Humane Society.
They are a local charity fostering, sheltering, and finding forever homes for animals in need.
At Rancho Coastal Humane Society, our focus is relieving overcrowded shelters. So 95% of our animals come from other county and private shelters in Southern California. So the animals that we find in those overcrowded shelters come from primarily two sources. One would be that the animal was a stray. The second is that an owner has found that they can no longer care for the animal. At Rancho Coastal, we do not euthanize for time or space, so we will invest in getting an animal, dog, cat, or rabbit, from the overcrowded shelter and into a home, however long that takes. So Rancho Coastal Humane Society has been around since 1960, and the community knows us most for our adoption services, which are kind of customized adoptions. We're looking for matching the needs of the pet with the desires of an adopter. We also have a great reputation for humane education. We run animal camps, kids community service, and other programs focused on teaching young children how to interact with animals of all species in all environments. But we're much more than that. What Rancho Coastal has done is expanded programs to help pet owners in crisis. We have a pet loss support program, which is a therapeutic interaction for people who are grieving the loss of a pet. We have a pet food bank where we're providing food to the community. We also have a program called the Animal Safe House program. It is unique to Southern California. It is a program where we provide temporary board and care for pets of victims of domestic violence, military and veterans requiring hospitalization, and seniors facing a medical crisis. Rancho Coastal really thrives based upon our volunteer service. We have over 450 volunteers who donate in excess of 13,000 hours of their time, both here in the shelter and caring for the animals in our care, and also at the thrift shop in helping us to process donations for resale. The thrift shop is a tremendous source of revenue for us. In fact, it covers about 1/3 of our annual budget in gross sales. We are really trying to emphasize and create a bigger footprint. So our footprint has now reached national levels. We are a 4-star rated charity, which means that you can trust us to spend your donation wisely. We're the only charity in Southern California with that status. We're one of 5 in the nation in animal welfare. Providing the extra services for people who are in need, pet owners who are in need or in crisis. All of that is very essential to the community at large, very essential to a community which welcomes animals in their homes and in their hearts. So Rancho Coastal will continue to fulfill that commitment to the community at large to strengthen the human-animal bond that exists and that should grow over time. But people come here for the love of animals. That's why I'm here. I joined Rancho Coastal about 8 years ago now. I am in this position 2.5 years, and I think this is the happiest place on earth.
For more information, visit rchumanesociety.org. So TJ, I heard you got married recently.
That's right. We got hitched on the beach, a couple of friends, no caterer. It was beautiful.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So do you have a will or a trust?
No? Should I?
I don't know. I'm single, but maybe you'd better watch this next segment.
Today we're going to be talking about estate planning, wills, and trusts. If you have children or you have property in the state of California, you need to hear this. Hi, I'm Jim. Welcome to Old Wise One. Today we have the law office of Adam England. Welcome, Adam.
Thanks, Jim. Great to be here.
So why don't we just start with what is a will?
Okay, I think most people know what a will is. It's something that says what you want done with your assets when you die.
Let's talk a little bit more about a will and if somebody dies without a will.
It's who are your closest relatives, and if not them, then who else? And it goes down to 4th cousins 10 times removed. But eventually they figure out who is entitled to your assets.
So typically on a will, if they do it in their own handwriting and it's dated,
yeah, and they sign it.
And they sign it.
It has to be all in their own handwriting. It's called a holographic will.
Okay, and that may or may not be notarized.
Doesn't need to be notarized.
Doesn't need to be notarized. It's good as it goes.
In fact, wills are not generally notarized. In California, they're certified by 2 witnesses. For current estate planning purposes, if people have assets over $150,000, the will has become really an adjunct to trust, which avoids probate.
What is probate? It's California law that deals with the distribution of assets of the deceased when no will or trust are in place. It's costly and can take years to get through.
There's a lot of downsides to not having a trust in place. The primary purpose that I'm trying to achieve is to avoid probate. If there's a trust, somebody steps in
and takes over right away, and then the probate court has nothing to do with it.
So in this scenario, we've got two 30-year-old parents with two children, okay? And they don't know when they should do a trust, whether they should wait till later, should they do it now?
Usually a trigger for me is when they either buy a house, because then they start developing sufficient assets to make an estate plan worthwhile, or they are buying life insurance because they're concerned about their children. You can look at a trust like a bowl. The people who have the assets put them into the bowl, and they manage those assets. So the legal construct is that they take one person and make them into three. The settlor, the person who puts the assets in, the trustee who manages the assets, and the beneficiary who gets the benefit of the assets. And the trust is essentially transparent for creditors and taxes and things like that. But when they die, there's a successor trustee who takes over and manages the assets, carries out the instructions in the declaration.
So let's talk a little bit about guardianship.
So the guardianship document, basically it's the will that's commonly used for that. And this is one of the reasons that we still have wills instead of just eliminating them altogether. But it nominates a guardian. So a court would need to appoint the guardian, but by nominating it, the parents have established a presumption that this is who is qualified and appropriate to take care of the children.
Right, there's other documents in the estate plan that are always very important. The healthcare directive gives the direction to the doctors, to the hospital, and then you have a power of attorney, a typical document in an estate plan, which is power of attorney, which is helping somebody manage assets while they're still alive.
Right, so basically it's in case of incapacity. And one deals with health and the other with financial affairs.
Good idea to get these estate plan documents done as soon as possible. As soon as you get a house, as soon as you have a child. Adam, I really appreciate you coming in.
My pleasure.
And everybody, I really highly recommend his law firm. I've used them over the years many, many times. One of the most reasonable trust packages there is in the marketplace. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
If you want your questions answered by the old wise ones, visit SanDiegoCoastLifestyle.com. Thank you so much for spending time with us this morning. We hope you join us again for another episode of San Diego Coast Lifestyle.
Once again, we showcase our community, and we spotlight small businesses making a big difference.
We would love to hear from you.
That's right. If you have any show ideas or you know people making a difference in the community, reach out to us at SanDiegoCoastLifestyle.com. I'm TJ.
And I'm Dory.
Just keep swimming, San Diego.